Welcome to my channel Heal in Silence. The sound of silence, a story for those healing alone. Sometimes the loudest pain is the one you never speak about. Sometimes healing doesn't look like joy, it looks like silence. This is a story for the ones who kept going, even when no one was watching. His name was Elijah. Not the prophet, not the preacher, just a man. A man with tired eyes and a quiet presence that went unnoticed in every room. He wasn't always like that. There was a time his laughter filled halls, his confidence stood tall, and his dreams burned so brightly they lit the way for others. But fire attracts storms. Elijah lost his job when the company downsized. No warning, no farewell, just an email and silence. His colleagues stopped answering calls. His so-called friends disappeared like smoke. He laughed at first, said, "I needed a break anyway." But the silence that followed wasn't restful. It was loud, deafening. A silence filled with questions. What did I do wrong? Why is no one checking in? Why does my chest feel heavier every morning? His girlfriend left 3 months later. Not cruelly, just quietly. She said she couldn't carry both of them. And Elijah understood. He always understood. That was the problem. He became a ghost in his own home. Mornings bled into nights. He watched motivational videos, read books on stoicism, prayed, fasted, and still, nothing changed. The silence grew roots in his soul. One rainy Thursday, he stood in front of the mirror for a very long time. He didn't cry. He didn't scream. He just stared. And then, he picked up a notebook and wrote 3 words. Heal in silence. The quiet work begins. Elijah stopped waiting for a text. He stopped refreshing his feed. He stopped expecting the world to save him. Instead, he created a routine, not a grand one. Just steps. A wake up at 6 a.m. A drink water. A walk for 20 minutes. A write 5 honest sentences in a journal. A make something with his hands. At first, it felt pointless. He doubted himself every second. But something strange happened. After 2 weeks, he realized the silence no longer scared him. It was becoming sacred. He began to hear his own voice again. Not the critic, not the echo of others, his real voice. The voice that said, "You are not broken. This is not the end. This pain is the birthplace of your strength." He started cooking again, just for himself. His food wasn't pretty, but it was nourishing. He started reading poetry, not to impress anyone, but to feel something. He planted a small garden on his balcony. Tomatoes, basil, and a stubborn aloe vera plant. They grew slowly, just like him. He still had bad days. Sometimes he wouldn't leave his bed. Some nights were sleepless and haunted. But he didn't judge himself anymore. He learned that healing wasn't linear. It was messy, quiet, and often invisible. And that was okay. The unexpected letter. 6 months into his silence, Elijah received a letter. Not an email. A handwritten letter. It was from his younger sister, Nia. They hadn't spoken in almost a year. She had always been the loud, fiery one. The one who didn't understand his silence. But her words broke him. "I used to think you were weak for going quiet. But now I see how strong you are for choosing peace in a world that rewards noise. I want you to know, watching you from afar gave me the courage to leave a toxic relationship. You didn't say anything, but your silence spoke volumes." Elijah sat with that letter for hours. Not crying, just breathing. For the first time, he realized he had been healing out loud. Not with words, but with actions. Quiet ones. Invisible ones. But healing, nonetheless. A new chapter. Elijah never returned to his old life. He didn't want to. He used his savings to start a tiny woodworking business online. Handmade shelves, journals, incense trays. Every item came with a handwritten message: healing isn't loud. He didn't chase followers, but they found him. People began writing to him. A nurse who lost her brother. A soldier with PTSD. A single mom raising 3 kids with no support. They all said the same thing: your silence feels like home. Elijah never showed his face online, but he showed his heart. And in that sacred space, where no one clapped and no spotlight shone, he became whole. Message to the listener. To you watching this in silence. You who cry in bathrooms and smile in hallways. You who feel forgotten, broken, small. You are not weak. You are not invisible. You are healing in silence, and that takes extraordinary courage. The world may never understand what you carry, but your peace, your stillness, your quiet rebuilding, it matters. So keep going. You are not alone. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like and share.